Growing up as a female in the South, my mom taught me the importance of knowing how to cook. And I can personally attest that it was a surefire way to kick things off when I first met my husband. And it's kept him around this far. Now today, I'm going to teach you a simple box kit instruction for all those times when you don't have time to fix something from scratch. We're going to use a Duncan Hines Strawberry Supreme Moist Cake. Before we start, you're going to want to gather all your materials. You're going to need a large mixing bowl, a 13 by 9 cake pan. I prefer a glass bottom one because they tend to not burn as bad as a dark coated metal pan. You're also going to need a mixer, 1 cup of water, 3 large eggs, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, and of course your cake mix and icing. Before you start, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. While that's warming, we'll go ahead and start mixing things. Well, before we do that, let's grease our pan. Now I'm going to use just a simple vegetable oil cooking spray and just coat that all over. Now, if you don't have any of this on hand, you can use regular vegetable oil. You'll just drop a pinch in and rub it around with a paper towel until it soaks in a little more. Now that our pan is greased, we're going to dump our cake mix into our mixing bowl. Make sure you get it all out there. Next, we're going to add our ingredients, which calls for 1/3 a cup of vegetable oil, okay, it also calls for 1 cup of water, just add that on top there, and then 3 large eggs. But you want to make sure to keep refrigerated until time, that way they stay fresh. So we'll crack our eggs in here. Make sure you don't chip any in. 1. 2. And 3. Now, we've got all our ingredients in, and before you just go to town mixing it real fast, you're going to want to put your blender on a real low speed just for a few seconds to get those big clumps out. That way it doesn't send all your ingredients launching out everywhere and create a huge mess. So we'll turn this down to 1. Stir it up a little bit. And once those big chunks are gone, you can go ahead and turn your blender up. You're going to want to make sure that you get all those little chunks out. You don't want them in your batter. I think that's pretty good. Once you've got all those little chunks out of your batter, you're going to want to pour it into your cake pan. Now, I like to use this with a silicone spatula. It gets almost all the batter out, which means more cake plus less of a mess later. So, got a nice creamy batter. We're just going to spoon this in. Get all that out. Fill up the pan. We got all our batter out. I'm going to make sure it's nice and even through there. I just shifted it around a little bit, get that little bit off the edge. Okay, and now our cake is ready to go in the oven. that is preheated. Stick it in. Now that's going to bake for about 25 minutes. Now again, that may vary by your oven temperature and what type of pan you use, whether it's glass or dark, and the size if you do a little bit off from the 13 by 9. Now I have pre-baked the cake. So we're going to show the final step, which is also one of the yummiest, and that is the icing. Now, I picked a cream cheese icing, and you would just spread it evenly all over the cake. And as soon as you are done with that, your cake will be ready for the best part, which is to taste and enjoy. Thanks, guys.